I love to draw. I've always loved it. Growing up, I was an artistic, creative kid, always going that extra mile for school projects, spending hours on end to make them just right. Not perfect, but just right. Art was my biggest joy growing up. In fact, after seeking academic validation for years, I believed I wanted to be an artist or a designer my entire uni life. So I started working hard at it. I was getting practical with my art, following trends and whatnot. And the most expected thing happened. The pressure to perform sucked the joy out of my childhood treasure. I stopped drawing altogether. I realized I love art, but not enough to make money out of it. Or perhaps I love it too much to monetize it. Then I figured out what my actual career could be. Art was completely forgotten because it wasn't going to help me in my life. So I started working like crazy, following everyone's advice of constantly keep working, at the start at least, because once it takes off, you can have the time of your life. And obviously, if I don't spend every waking second, and let's be real, every sleeping second too, thinking about it, working towards it, how can I ever succeed? Whatever the success means. Actually, we all know what this success means. It means working non-stop when you're young, when your mind is the sharpest, when your body is abled, when the consequences of burnout are not immediately visible. The success that promises future contentment at the cost of present unfulfillment. And we accept it. I accepted it too, even when the resistance was strong. My dad always said I could not survive in a corporate world, living in the hustle and bustle, task after task after task, a constant competition of who can ignore the human need to recharge the longest. I was so offended, I wanted to prove him wrong, show him how strong and capable I am, how effortlessly I can fit into the system. And yet, whenever I tried to step in this direction, I was met with a maddening sense of restraint. I'd hate my work, hate these people, hate myself. But still, I kept going, pushing myself harder each time, being just a bit more mean. Because I believed that's what I should do. Find a job, do some boring work now so I can climb my way to passionate work. Again, the promise of a better future, a reward even for the troublesome present, because apparently you can't be happy in both places. But lately, I've started agreeing with my dad. I'm not made for that world. Come to think of it, is anyone ever made for such a world? Where material success is everything, where money and status equal success. Surely they don't. Because lately, I'm at peace, even without these labels attached to me. I always feared being a late bloomer. I was afraid of underachievement. I wanted to be 30 under 30, achieve all the great things of my life by 24. I will be 24 soon, and this idea isn't appealing anymore. Because what comes after that? What's after 24 and my greatest achievement? I don't want to die a tragic, melancholic early death. So I started thinking, would I instead not slowly learn and take one step a day with patience and grace? Turn that one greatest achievement into thousands of small ones. Work hard, rest harder. A life of leisure, marvel, and pure bliss. Like making art again, the way I did as a kid. Not to make it my side hustle or small business, but simply because I love it so much. Because it makes me so happy. Because it lets me marvel at the world's wonders. There are so many wonders around, if only we choose to look. The colors, our ideas, people's lives. We can only find them when we stop running towards something away from ourselves. There's pure pleasure in just existing, being aware of each breath, its fragility. There's an inexpressible revival in taking afternoon walks, writing shit poetry, staring off into space. Sometimes nothing feels better than daydreaming and taking long naps, pursuing a hobby that's objectively useless to everyone but you. Why do we deny ourselves these beautiful moments of simple existence? We're taught early on that we need to earn our place in this world, earn others' respect and validation. We're taught to attach the value of our life to some unfair parameters, attach our self-worth to our capacity to meet those values. And anything that will not help in this race is considered a waste of time. Now, I understand nothing can replace good old hard work. We so easily replace rest, leisure, idle time. Oh, I can sleep for 2 hours, that's okay. But this project, it needs to be done by tomorrow because I have 20 others lined up that probably won't let me sleep either. But hey, at least I'll be relaxed once I'm 30, 40, 50, right? Unfortunately, wrong. It takes privilege and luck to quit your job, not worry about grades, travel around the world. But it only takes commitment to care for yourself, to find those few moments of replenishment. We need rest as much as we need productivity. We must walk slowly instead of sprinting for a good few years because the world says we are young and youth somehow equals material accomplishments. Rest is not only for when our bodies give up. Leisure is not limited to when you have all the free time in the world. We can walk, a slow romantic stroll, to keep going for a long, long time. So our bodies and minds don't have to give up. So we can be young forever, alive. Every season hath its pleasures. Spring may boast her flowery prime, yet the vineyard's ruby treasures brighten autumn's soberer time. Call me a romantic, but there's so much to learn from nature. Trees grow and bloom. They have their season, their spotlight, spring. But they also shed, prepare for another bloom, a rest, autumn. Can you imagine nature beating itself up for the winter? See it as unproductive? Not realize that it's essential for the new season? Why should humans be any different? Resting is showing kindness to ourselves. Pausing allows us to recognize our hard work and efforts instead of shoving yet another endless to-do list into our faces. When we stop, we know we deserve all we've worked for and all that's yet to come our way. We realize we never have to do anything beyond our capacity to be appreciated. Doing that one extra thing won't prove to us that we are strong, just as removing that one task won't make us weak. But we chase until we burn out and beat ourselves up for it. Start losing our direction, and soon we forget why we even started in the first place. We get so carried away by the mores, doing more, wanting more, having more, but never feeling enough. We humans are meant to work. We're not meant to live a life without purpose, but it's important to redefine this purpose. Redefine success and productivity. Give it our meaning, our own touch. Breathe our individuality into it. Because it's not either a life of productivity or a life of leisure. You don't have to choose between hard work and rest. Both can exist together. All we need to do is make a choice to live consciously, knowing that we can be wealthy and successful, but also be present in each moment, each day. I have many dreams, but I don't want to just reach a goal. I want to live every step of the way. I want to be here for the discipline, and I also want to be here for the freedom. I wish you do too. Because what a different world it would be if we were all equally appreciative of rest and leisure as we are of our qualifications and accomplishments.